Okay, hey, so welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Rick Beato's top 20 drum grooves of all time. And I'm just going to do some commentary on it. I've never done a reaction video before, so I figured why not do a really big video that's drum-centric, and we can discuss some of the grooves that were not included, and you can add your own down in the comments below. So without further ado, here is my reaction to Rick Beato's top 20 drum grooves of all time. Let's get on to the first one, shall we? Off the top with Back in Black. That's why it sold so many records. Nice and easy. Don't have to play a lot to make a lot. Great drummer too, Jack Jones. Great choice, Rick.
Song number 19 is off a record released in 1962, and the drummer is Al Jackson Jr. Here it is.
Who's this? Everybody knows this when they hear it. Guitar on the upbeat, drums keeping it down, that walking bass line, really cool. Another
coming in at
one.
number 18 is a drum groove by one of my favorite drummers,
Oh, who can this be then?
Here it is.
Oh, Questlove. That's like a Jay Dilla beat. If you guys aren't familiar with his work, then I suggest checking it out. Nice and laid back. Cool snare sound too.
Song number 17 is a drum groove off a song from a record that launched an entire new genre of music and radio format.
Could be the grunge era? Yes, it is. Cool, kind of a Jag Stang guitar, but we're talking drums here, so I just want to pause it for a second. Okay, so everybody knows this drum groove, and a lot of people try and implement it into their playing too, but I think what's really interesting about it is how simple it is, and how so far in this top 20 grooves of all time list that a lot of these drum grooves are really simple. So just keep that in mind when you're writing music or writing with your band, that you don't need to make things complicated to make it sound good. You're playing as a band and not as a drummer, right? Okay, let's get back to the video.
Song number 16 is by one of my favorite rock drummers. He always seems to appear on the list, and this is one of my favorite bands. Check it out.
Aha. Tool fans are going nuts right now. Yes. You can see the drummer's face like, I wonder how many takes it took him to do that. Okay, so one thing I want to touch on about this is that Danny Carey, a lot of the times, he doesn't necessarily play what the guitars are being played or what the guitars are playing. So what he likes to do is obviously play polyrhythms and odd meters, but he likes to accent certain parts inside of his drumming patterns. So he won't play exact replicas of what the guitars are playing, but he'll add to it. And I think that's what's really cool about Tool, because they've all got some sort of bigger purpose to create a really cool piece of music. So let's go on to the next, number 15.
Song number 15 actually appeared in one of our other lists. I won't tell you which one, but this
I don't know what it is,
particular
Rick.
song and groove. Actually, I think it was from the keyboard intro list, but the drum groove is just as important.
Yes, drum groove is important. Yeah, this is a classic song. Again, laid back. You notice the first bar is downbeat on the snare, and then he plays a little bit of the upbeat, and like the E of, I'm not exactly sure, but what I'm trying to say is that second part is tying in with the keys, where it accents on like some of those black keys or flat notes or whatever. And that's pretty interesting because it's like it's straight, but then has a dun 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 dun, right? And it kind of keeps that driving forward, and that's the purpose of snare and vocals in a mix. So let's go on to the next one.
Coming in at number 14 is a drummer that many people emulated. He plays what I call a lot of non-fills when he's filling, but his grooves are killer.
Killer. Yeah, Stuart Copeland. He is not a reggae drummer. I don't think he ever listened to reggae. There's a lot of information about him floating around online. What's really cool, like, I wish he had played with Sting. Obviously, Vinny Colaiuta plays with Sting. But I worked with Sting one time, and I was backstage after the show, and Sting came walking out off the stage into the back to get a limo or get a car or whatever. And he was just going crazy. But I didn't realize walking beside him at the time was Vinnie Colaiuta. Now, had I known that, obviously I can't take pictures or anything because that's the premise of the job. That would have been really cool to shake that guy's hand. Anyway, enough about me. Back to the video.
Groove number 13 is off a record released in 1984. A lot of people say, why don't you have this guitarist on your channel more? Well, I will eventually have a dedicated video to him. Here it is.
Great. Nice. Correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe like some 12-bar blues, a little bit of shuffling happening there. See how he's getting into it? He's really relaxed. That's what you need to keep in mind.
Song number 12 was released in 1969.
Very good
This groove is unmistakable.
Another old one.
And it's by my favorite band, so you know who the band is.
Led Zeppelin? No, Beatles. Oh, he's even got the bass to match with it. Okay, so I just want to pause it here, but if you guys aren't aware, when Ringo tracked this drum part for Come Together, they actually did what is shown here in the video. They put blankets over top of the toms to get that kind of muted sound. And it's Ringo is one of the best drummers of all time. And that's just an opinion, but what's really cool about Ringo is he lays back. Some songs he only plays like one or two notes or two different surfaces for the whole song, and he's just accenting what the other band members are playing. So just keep that in mind.
Song number 11 is by the great Mitch Mitchell, and it's featured on one of my favorite Jimi Hendrix songs.
That's cool. Pushes the bar a little bit. Yeah, this is groovy as heck.
All right, now we're down to the top 10. Coming in at number 10 is a song that many people question whether the kick drum in the beginning is actually played on drums or it's...
Okay, you know what he's going to be talking about next. This is Van Halen's Hot for Teacher. And from what I read online, a lot of what that is Eddie's, the exhaust from his Ferrari car, and then it goes into the drum beat. But I think Alex actually played a lot of it on electronics and then added in his own drum parts. So let's see if he mentions anything about that.
Played on something else. The drum part is a double kick, very fast double kick part, and it has a swinging feel to it. The guitar part's also really hard to play. Check it out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, obviously wasn't talking about the intro, but felt like I needed to share that.
Song number 9 is off a record release.
If you want to get into swinging double bass drumming, then I highly suggest playing along with Van Halen. It's really going to help your feel.
In 1972, and it's by the great Bill Withers.
Bill Withers. Gonna be honest with you, I don't know who this is, and I really should. Got a lot of feel to that.
Coming in at number 8 is a song
Feels
that was
good.
really hard to recreate. It's got a lot of syncopation, but it's a killer groove. Here
syncopation. Okay. David Garibaldi, Tower Power. If you don't own the book Future Sounds, then you really do need to check it out. Does a lot of funk drumming, a lot of linear stuff. It's a lot of what I learned when I was growing up and taking lessons privately. So anyway, back to the video.
Song number 7 is the
cool
only
stuff.
odd time signature on the list, and it's actually not in 7, but it's by a drummer who's a very dear friend of mine. Check it out.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I guess they're buddies. That's very cool. Yeah.
Song
Cool
number
splashes up
6
top.
is by a drummer that was in our top 20 drum intros, and this is actually not this groove that you think it is, but it is a Steve Gadd groove.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. He's actually mimicking, I think, what Steve did on the original recordings with 2 sticks in each hand. Also, I just picked up Steve Gadd's new book called Gaddaments. I highly suggest checking it out. It's really cool. Anyway, back to the video. Very funky.
Okay, now we're down to the top 5.
That's
now,
why he's one of the best in the world.
Any of these could be in any order. I always say that, but that's actually probably not true for this list. The number 1, 2, and 3 are very, very iconic grooves and copied by everyone. But this 1916.
Yeah, it's copied by everyone. I guess we'll see what his top 5 are, but I guarantee I know what number 1 is. And if you scroll down on the comments in the video, you can actually see what it is. But let's get to it.
And it's off the Meters' first album. Check it out.
Zigaboo.
Song number 4.
If you haven't listened to Zigaboo, then his playing is great. There's also another drummer from New Orleans when I was down there visiting. It was a really cool vibe, and it's definitely like second line drumming and stuff like that is something you should really check out if you want to expand your vocabulary and your feel behind the drum set. You know, obviously because rhythm's a third of music, it's something you really should try and look to expand on and just try and indulge yourself in different cultures and feels and drumming rhythms. But check out Zigaboo and check out, oh crap, what's his name? I can't remember off the top of me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but put it down in the comments below.
Is by the great James Brown. You knew there had to be a James Brown Clyde Stubblefield groove on here.
Oh, yeah.
And there is.
There has to be. Guaranteed. Boom. If that doesn't get you dancing, then you're dead on the inside. I'm sorry.
Coming in at number 3, this song has actually been on a bunch of the top 20 lists. This groove was in the top 20 drum intros. And
another
it's
great
based
video of his. You should go see it.
on 2 of the next grooves that come after it. Check it out.
I'm gonna. Jeff Porcaro. Rest in peace, man. See, I think a lot of drummers get that Porcaro shuffle wrong. They're either playing too much on the snare or they're not playing it properly, but that is obviously up there. That's why it should be at number 2.
Song number 2
number 3
is by a drummer that you knew was going to be on here. This particular groove is a shuffle, and it's based
John Bonham
on
or
the
something.
number 1 song
I
on the
guarantee
list.
it.
Check it out.
Yeah. One of my favorite drum beats. Oh, a nice grand in there. I just wanted to note too that his drum sounds are great, even though it looks like it's an untreated room. He's got a nice sounding room in there. Just nerding out over that. Rick, you got a nice place, man.
Coming in at number 1 is a drum groove off a record released in 1977 by Steely Dan entitled Asia. This particular groove was copied many times, including by the 2 previous drummers. They put their own spin on them, but this is actually the original one.
Let's see.
Bernard Purdie's.
The Purdie Shuffle, anyone?
Okay, many of you.
All right, so that is me reacting to Rick Beato's top 20 drum grooves of all time. If you have any to add down below, like anything from Keith Moon or anything from Neil Peart, or say, you know, any other iconic drummer that you felt should have been on his list, then let me know down in the comments below, and let's discuss and talk about drummers and drum groove and what other songs you might think drummers should check out to help enhance their drumming abilities and proficiency. So if you like this video, thanks so much. My name's Cam Fleury, and I'll see you in the next video.